What's going on, guys? This is Erin from Departures Capital, and we're here with Tim Daniels, President and Director of Erin Ventures. It's a pleasure to have you on today. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Erin. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, I'm excited to talk about the company. So can you tell us more about Erin Ventures?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Erin Ventures is a mineral exploration and development company that is 100% focused on developing a very exciting boron project located in Serbia.
Great. So your focus is boron, as you mentioned. What is boron, and why should we care about it? This is something that I really haven't talked about much here on Departures Capital. So you're the first boron company.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Well, first, let me tell you, Erin, that boron is not boring. Boron's an element found on the periodic table that has some amazing properties that makes it very valuable. First of all, it's extremely hard. The only thing that out there that's harder than boron is diamonds. That's how hard it is. It's also extremely light. It's very heat resistant and corrosion resistant and much, much more. And because of these unique characteristics, it's very valuable and therefore is found in 500 plus products that each and every one of us use each and every single day of our lives. For example, it's found all around our homes, from the ceramic tiles under our feet to the solar panels over our heads. You need boron. The fiberglass insulation in our walls, you need boron. The fiber optic cable running our internet. The computer screen I'm looking into right now, or the screen on one of these that we all stare into all day long, borosilicate glass. So boron is essential for that. It's a micronutrient in the food that we eat. It's in the steel that's used to strengthen our cars and on and on and on. So it's literally used in hundreds of products that we can't live without in our modern life. And those products run the gambit from, the mundane but needed everyday products such as laundry soap, wood preservatives, ceramics, up to the latest and greatest technology like hydrogen fuel cells, stealth fighter technology, rocket fuel, and much, much more. And there's many new uses discovered for boron every single year. So it's not an overstatement to say that modern life would be very, very different without boron.
That's quite interesting. I definitely learned something. So if boron is so important, why don't we hear more about it?
Yeah, simple, because it's rare. You can basically count all the economic boron deposits in the world on one hand. And more than just that, it's a market that's controlled by two major producers that hold about 75% market share. So it's a true oligopoly. And boron itself is not a quoted commodity. You can't check the market each day to see what boron is trading at. But because it's rare, it's also very, very profitable. We'll talk more about that in a minute.
Great. So decarbonization, getting off fossil fuels, obviously is a hot topic these days. Does boron play a role in this?
Yeah, you bet, in a huge way. In fact, boron is one of the most important elements for producing a greener future on planet Earth. How? Why? Because all the green technologies rely on boron. Wind turbines, solar panels, rechargeable batteries, energy efficient buildings, hydrogen fuel cells, nuclear fusion and fission, all rely heavily on boron. Increasing our crop yields because we have less and less agricultural land because of global warming. You need boron to do that. So all these essential ways that we're trying to get off our carbon dependencies and move to green fuels all relies on the use of boron. In fact, Credit Suisse wrote a great report in which they are predicting that demand for boron is going to increase tenfold because of decarbonization. So boron is absolutely critical for moving to a greener world.
So you mentioned that the boron industry is controlled by a very small oligopoly. So how does Erin plan to carve a path for itself in this market?
Yeah, it's a great question because normally oligopolies are very difficult to enter. But in this case, it's because of the dynamics of this oligopoly that we have a great opportunity as we have a ready-made role for us. Specifically, and without getting too deep in the weeds, the type of boron that we produce is called colemanite, and there's only one other major producer of that in the world. And so the countless buyers who rely on colemanite to make all these good products that we use, like fiberglass insulation and ceramic tiles and specialty glass products, they need colemanite, and today they're relying only on one supplier, which makes them very, very nervous. That's number one. Number two is that there's already a shortfall in supply, which is expected to widen at an ever increasing pace because of decarbonization. So it's actually a great situation for a new entrant to come into the marketplace.
So now that we all have a much better understanding about Boron, myself as well, so thank you for educating us. Tell us about your deposit and your recently published PEA results.
I'd love to do that. We published the PEA in June of last year with some very robust numbers. For example, our NPV using a 10% discount rate after tax came in at 525 million. These are all in US dollars. Our IRR, our internal rate of return after tax, is 78.7%. Our gross project revenue is north of 2 billion over the life of the project. CapEx payback is in less than 12 months. Annual gross revenue projected from the project of about 126 million US a year. So really, really robust numbers. And the reason for that is because we have a large and very high grade deposit. We have a measured and indicated resource in place of about 6.9 million tons, averaging over 34% boron content, which makes us the highest that we know of in the world. And we have nearly a 20-year supply with the deposit still open in two directions, which means we have the potential to increase the supply beyond 2 decades. And against all those incredibly robust numbers in our PEA, we have a tiny, tiny market cap of less than $10 million on the company. So we think it's a great opportunity for investors.
So what are your future development plans then?
Sure. Well, right now we are in the process of receiving our mining license from the Serbian government. And we could, in the perfect scenario, be in production by 2026. Right now, we are developing a feasibility study for the government, and that'll be completed over the coming months. By this summer, it'll be completed. And importantly, we've also secured a strategic funding partner who has committed 22 million euros to develop the project in return for 45% interest in the project, with us remaining as the operator. And they are looking to invest another 3.5 million Canadian into Erin at a price that's well above our market price. So we've secured our equity funding needs right through to production. So we have some real exciting development plans in the works over the coming months and years.
That's great to know. Should be an exciting year for you guys. So any final thoughts to share with our viewers about the company?
Sure. Just to recap, we have very high-grade, world-class boron deposit. We have some very robust PEA economic numbers, the potential long-life mine, a couple decades and beyond. We're dealing with a rare and valuable commodity. We have blue sky potential to increase the project size because it remains open in a few directions. Our mine construction equity funding has been fully committed to at this point by a partner. And against all those, really great points, we have a tiny, tiny market cap. So we believe that we represent an incredible opportunity for investors to participate in our growth coming up over the next few years.
Sounds like a great story, Tim. Where should investors go for more information?
Sure. So you can come to our website at www.erinventures.com, and that'll give you all the information that you need. And from there, you can give us a shout as well, and we'd be happy to speak with you one-on-one and answer all your questions.
That's great. Well, thank you for all the information. Best of luck this year, and hopefully we can have you back on for an update in the future.
Love to do that, Erin. Thank you.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.